What's up everybody, and welcome back to this week's tutorial. Now in today's video, I'm going to show you how you make this beautiful pattern behind me using Vegas strips. Let's get started. So what is a Vegas strip, you might ask? Vegas strips, simply put, are 6.5 inches wide by width of fabric, a jumbo jelly roll. And they make beautiful quilts just like the one you see here behind me. Now, this is just something that's special about this quilt, okay? Is that in today's tutorial, I'm going to be using one with lots of color. So my background aren't going to be these pretty colors throughout, it's going to be black. But I just want to show everyone too that you don't need a whole lot of color to make a beautiful quilt. And also, if you have a Vegas strip in your stash already that is all of those neutral tones, you can absolutely use them to make a beautiful quilt like this. And we just ended up using a little bit of scrap to add in a pop of color. But let's dive right on into the cutting instructions. What we're going to do is just pop open up this Vegas strip and we'll do a quick little flip through. Beautiful colors. I am a sucker for the tealish colors. Now to counteract this, because it's so light, I'm going to be using a black for my background or my little accent pieces as you're seeing behind me here. But as far as cutting instructions, super simple, and it's going to be the same for all of my Vegas strips. I'm going to cut these down to 10.5 inches by 6.5 inches. Then from there I'm going to do a subcut to cut them to be 10.5 by 3.5, with the second piece being the right size that we need, which is 3 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and I'll just grab a couple of these. I'm going to grab this one. As always, I'm going to true off my edge by cutting off my selvage. Then I'm going to cut as many 10.5 inch strips that I can get. And guys, this one has very, very little room for error. That is my only piece of scrap off my Vegas strip. And then I'm going to turn this around, and I need to cut a 3.5 inch strip. This right here is considered waste in this project. However, you can add this to your binding to make a scrappy binding, or two, it is 3 inches wide. You can put them right sides together with a little piece of white and make yourself some half square triangles. So at this point, you should have two 6.5 by 10.5 inch strips and two 3.5 by 10.5 inch strips. Now we need to put that little piece of black in the middle here, which is an 1.5 inch strip that we're gonna cut now. And then I'm going to subcut this down to be 10.5 inches. Now obviously with quilts like this that are repetitive blocks, you can make this as large or as small as you like. Obviously if you only did this maybe 4 by 4, it would be a nice little baby size blanket. If you go the full way, more of a throw lap size blanket as well. And also you could always go bigger, right? You could get 2 Vegas strips and make this into a queen if you so desired. So at this point we've got our pieces like this. Obviously each strip will make 2 blocks, so be mindful of that as we're making this, or as you're putting it together, that you'll have duplicates of everything, but that also then will make sure that everything, you know, goes perfectly hand in hand. At this point I'm going to take one of these and we're going to do all that we can not to stretch this, because a little piece like this can get stretchy on us. And then I'm going to put this right here, which makes the exact same block that you're seeing here. I'm going to make both of these while we're here. And I'm going to go ahead and just put them right sides together and sew all the way down. Be very, very mindful not to stretch our black. And if you're having problems with that, or if you're a starcher, go ahead and starch this a little bit extra to make sure that we're not stretching our black. So now that I got the first one here open, I'm going to take it over here to my iron and iron this. Same thing, gotta iron this one out. And guys, just like that, the block is complete. Now, as far as assembly though, you have to understand there's 4 orientations of this block because that seam is not in the center. The biggest thing is, if you see what we've done here, the orientation of them kind of makes a square, which makes it simple. But if you need a pattern for that, check down in the description below. We always offer a free pattern on all of our quilts that we make here on YouTube. With that, the things that I just want to mention about it is this is pretty easy of a block, right? However, you have to be technically sound to achieve this block and have these lines be perfectly up and down. And again, these are just some basic principles that as we move forward through the year and quilts get harder and more technical as the year goes on, that you have your basics down on sewing your straight lines, making sure everything's perfect, and even doing proper techniques like opening up our seams. These are just good principles to get yourself a little refresher on, and maybe even make a beautiful quilt like this. And with that, guys, if you liked this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and don't be afraid to share it with your friends. As always, down in the description below is the free PDF download for this pattern behind me. And while you're there, you might as well check out SewYeahQuilting.com, where you can pick yourself up some fabric and some of the newest, latest, greatest fabrics from the top tier designers of our industry. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.